My name is Terri Been, and I'm here representing myself and the Save Wood Jeff campaign. For the record, I am in favor of both House Bill 147 and 316. To begin with, I am the sister of TDCJ number 999256. Inmate Wood was scheduled to be executed on August 24th of this year for the murder of Chris Curran. He was granted a last-minute stay by the Criminal Court of Appeals. The problem is the stay was granted for what I consider to be the wrong reason. Please don't get me wrong, I thank God daily for that stay, but I want you to know, and I want the world to know, that my brother Jeffrey Wood is not a heinous monster. I want you to know that he's not the worst of the worst, and that he does not deserve to be executed by the state of Texas, period. Jeff is a human being, and he does not deserve to be referred to as TDCJ number 999256. Thank you. Nor does he deserve to be referred to as inmate Wood or convict after 20 years in prison for a murder that he factually did not commit. That's right, you heard me correctly, for a murder that he did not commit. Yet he is and will forever be referred to as convicted killer due to the many egregious errors and the blatant inaccuracies on part of the prosecution, from using testimony of a known fraud as an expert witness, to the fact that my brother's own court-appointed attorney was a member of the prosecution office. And that after all of this, the fact that the judge himself stated on record that he did not believe that my brother was competent enough to represent himself, yet he still allowed my brother, even though he knew him to be incompetent, to order his attorneys to remain silent and not do their jobs during the trial. Personally, I find it rather disturbing that the court members know beyond a shadow of a doubt that my brother was not even in the building when the murder took place. Yet according to them, their hands are tied because after all, they're following the law. I'm here to tell you that this law needs to be reformed. Not only did my brother not kill anybody, he did not plan to kill anybody, he did not conspire to kill anybody, but he was convicted under this poorly written law, 702B, which we're here to discuss today. And despite the fact that he was granted a temporary stay, he still faces execution for a crime he did not commit. Please take a second to think about the following statement: equal justice under law. Those words were written to be powerful, so powerful that they are carved into the United States Supreme Court building. The message that they deliver when they're put together, it needs to be given consideration by you, our Texas lawmakers. To sentence a person to death who never committed a murder is not equal justice. And to allow that person to sit in prison for 20 years or life is not equal justice. My brother's been in a tiny cell smaller than my bathroom, in isolation, being ridiculed and verbally abused, mentally and physically tortured for over 20 years. For what? So he can advance somebody's political career because they were being tough on crime. I've walked the halls and I visited these offices at the Capitol for more than 20 years. I've testified before the Criminal Jurisprudence Committee since 2009, but my cries have fallen on mostly deaf ears. I'm begging you to be leaders and to lead your constituents in the right direction. Right now, I'm asking that you do what is morally right, not what is popular. The death penalty system was set up to punish the worst of the worst, and my brother is not the worst of the worst. He never killed anybody. Again, he never conspired to kill anybody. Yes, all kinds of reforms need to be made when it comes to the Texas criminal justice system, and my suggestion is similar to others, and we've had these discussions for years. To sit down with leaders of the abolition groups and family members like myself who come to visit your offices. If you, our lawmakers, are not willing to end the death penalty at this time as it applied to the law parties, at the very least provide a moratorium on all execution until such a time that the Texas legislature in full can initiate a fair and open dialogue about the state's capital punishment system and address issues such as the risk of executing the innocent the exorbitant cost of the death penalty, the arbitrary and biased way in which the system is meted out, remember that you have the power to correct this situation with your vote and your voice. I pray that you provide favorable consideration for both House Bill 147 and House Bill 316 and send it to the floor for a full vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Speaker. Do you have any questions? I appreciate you being here. I know it's been a long day.